Is your husband cold and unapproachable? Do you feel like you can't do anything and can't make your own decisions now that you're married? A relationship with the narcissist is challenging. You'll always believe that you're being treated well. Still, as your relationship develops, you'll realize that how he treats you suggests that you may have married the wrong man. Do you think you're married to a narcissist? Do you want to know how narcissistic husbands treat their wives? Here are 7 things narcissistic husbands do to their wives. Number 1. Narcissistic husbands will be critical of everything their wives do. Because of their insecurities and low self-esteem, your narcissistic husband will frequently be critical of you. Every move you make, pound you gain, and outfit you choose will be noticed. The motivation for a narcissist to criticize others is defensive rather than seeking satisfaction and pleasure. Although criticism may appear aggressive from the one being attacked, they are defending themselves from the narcissist's perspective. Narcissists are perfectionists, and when they see someone doing less than perfect, they always point it out. When you have a narcissistic husband, you must always strive for perfection. Your flaws and imperfections will reflect poorly on a narcissist. If you don't want to change what they want from you, which is to become perfect for them, you'll be constantly criticized and put down. As a wife, you do not deserve such treatment from your husband. You will always learn for the same level of appreciation you once received from them. Number 2. Narcissistic husbands often reject their wives. Rejection hurts the most from the person you care about the most. Whatever type of rejection, to know that comes from your husband will always affect you. For a narcissist, what matters to them are themselves. Friendships don't matter. Outside of their own lives, life has no intrinsic value or meaning. Everything revolves around them. You don't matter, even if you're their wife. When the honeymoon phase wears off, most couples fall into a predictable pattern or routine. You can and still do adore your partner. However, this relationship stage is very different from the narcissistic abuse cycle. It is when the narcissist begins to devalue their partner rather than growing closer to them. They recognize that their partner is not perfect and that they do not value them. A person's worth is only used to boost their sense of self-importance. A narcissist starts to reject their partner and eventually abandons them in favor of a new relationship that meets their needs. Remember that this isn't a need for love, belonging, or caring. A narcissist seeks relationships solely to feed their ego and sense of importance. As a result, they will reject and discard anyone who does not meet that need in favor of someone else. Number 3. Narcissistic husbands do not consider their wives. One of the keys to a successful marriage is good communication. Part of good communication is being a good listener to your spouse and taking the time to understand what they want and need. Sharing thoughts and feelings build a healthy relationship and marriage. Being married to a narcissist is always his way over your way. Is it always your husband who makes all the decisions? Have you tried telling your husband what you want but were not heard and considered? It's not that narcissists refuse to think about it. The narcissist never acknowledges anyone's point of view. They are always triggered quickly by specific words in their heads. They respond and leave before an opinion is fully formed. There is no listen to understand ability, and it's pointless to try and share an opinion or even a word with them when they're angry or enraged. Narcissists can consider other people's points of view, but only in the abstract. And if it doesn't, the narcissist will never consider these opinions because they threaten the narcissist's control. Number 4. Narcissistic husbands will remain uncommitted and unfaithful to their wives. For a narcissist, relationships are always transactional to them. They always love to play games and their goal is to win. A narcissistic husband remains uncommitted and unfaithful, especially when they believe they have accessible options such as online dating. But even without such an option, they'll always find a way to cheat. Narcissists are extremely self-absorbed and constantly seek external validation. These narcissistic characteristics make them more likely to cheat on their partners. Their need for adoration is so strong that they are easily swayed by flattery. But what if you catch them in the act? Will they admit to cheating? Narcissistic husbands are unlikely to admit to cheating on their wives. They refuse to accept responsibility for their actions because it makes them feel out of control and vulnerable. If you have proof that they cheated, they will eventually blame it on someone else. And like any other partner, if they're cheating, they'll be lying to you all the time. Another warning sign is that they will usually become extremely jealous. This is referred to as projection, and it occurs when they project their negative behaviors onto you. Number 5. Narcissistic husbands will use the silent treatment after an argument. Have you ever had an argument or disagreement with your husband who stopped speaking to you for a while because he was angry and upset? It may seem normal to take a short break when one's feelings have been hurt, but this is not the case from a narcissist's perspective. When you disagree with a narcissist, it is frequently one-sided, and you may not have done anything wrong. However, the narcissist expects you to apologize for the wrong you did, and they will not speak to you until you learn your lesson. This silent treatment is a narcissist's manipulation strategy for controlling and punishing you. The narcissist's purpose is to admit whatever role they may have played in the conflict, but to clear themselves of all the blame and shift the focus away from themselves and onto someone else. Number 6. Narcissistic husbands will never put the effort to maintaining the marriage. Do you miss when your husband would take you on dates and give you random surprises? Since you've been married to them, you rarely go out on dates and spend time together, just as how your relationship started. Always remember that a narcissist will never stay married through the expression of love, compassion, or respect. It will always be through blaming, control, and manipulation. It may sound disheartening and dreadful, but your narcissistic husband sees you as his primary source of the need for admiration, approval, and praise. Your narcissistic husband will never put the effort to maintain the marriage, for they can't maintain long-term relationships. Narcissists will drain a lot of energy, especially people close to them. Number 7. Narcissistic husbands hate their wives and blame them. Do you know what offers the narcissist enjoys in marriage and relationships? It provides them positive attention and sexual satisfaction to support their ego and self-esteem. Narcissists will claim to love their spouse and children. For them, their love is real. But is it love? Narcissistic husbands seek someone of exceptional beauty, talent, or influence who admires them. The more special the prize, the more desirable and enhancing their self-esteem is. Narcissists are often reluctant to accept responsibility for things they've done wrong. After the love bombing, they resort to abuse and blame shifting once they can't control you anymore. As a result, many narcissistic husbands find it easier to ignore the stress of accepting responsibility and pass all the blame to their wives. For instance, if they are the ones who are caught cheating, narcissistic husbands will make you believe that you're the one to be blamed for the act. They will often shift the action and tell you that it was because you did something awful to them that they resort to such action. As this kind of behavior of your husband continues, you will find yourself starting to believe them and accept the blame. Over time, this behavior can wear you down psychologically and emotionally. You may feel as though you have lost your sense of self. We all know that narcissists are difficult to marry and that marrying them is probably one of the worst ideas. Of course, if we knew then what we know now, we would quickly discover that our husbands were wearing a disguise that even the most discerning individuals would miss. Behind the mask is someone who has no capacity for unconditional love. While it may seem complicated to engage with them after their poor treatment, some who managed to survive may have done more than set up and maintain boundaries. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, make sure you watch this excellent video over here.